evening, Bahamas. I'm Vonique Toot, and this is NB12 for Monday, April 16th, 2012, broadcasting from the Cable 12 studios on Robinson Road. In news tonight, Customs and Immigration officers take their protest to the Minister of Labor, continuing their strike despite instructions to return to work. City market workers still awaiting paychecks. A 12-year-old boy is shot and killed on Nassau Village. Police say they're not ruling out charges against one of the parents, and firefighters battling a blaze on East Street South. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. Your NB12 starts right now. Thanks for joining us. Members of the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union not only defying orders from Labor Minister Dion Folks to return to work, but as their strike action continued into a 12th-day, members sought to ambush the minister as he appeared on a talk show. Union leaders say protests could continue until well after the next general election. Close to 100 members of the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union took over the Nassau Guardian's parking lot this morning. They were hoping to have a word with Labor Minister Dion Folks, who was a guest on Guardian radio talk show Darrell Miller Live. That didn't happen. On Friday, Folks revealed that he had referred their matter to the Industrial Tribunal, ending their strike. He said at the time that if Customs and Immigration officers did not return to work, there would be consequences. Well, their strike action continued today. Union trustee Alma Wim says they will continue to take action until the government addresses their calls for a proper shift system and compensation.
The minister and the government missed the boat by a mile. The boat has already taken off from the dock and they're still trying to get on. Okay? Those are two contentious issues in there, and we will not go back until they're resolved, or like Mr. Smith said, until the tribunal send us back to work. We will not go back because the minister threatened us. If you want to cut our pay, the court is there to remedy any system that goes wrong for us. We've always been legal. We continue to be legal.
Union Vice President Sloan Smith insists his members are not defying the minister's orders by continuing to strike. He says the government did not do its due diligence.
Problem is, what he has not said, and what our attorneys nor have we received, is an originating application that pretty much says who the respondents are, who the defendants are. Neither did we get a certificate of referral that would say to us and our attorneys that yes, that document is officially lodged there. All we see today, and all he has said to us, is he intends to do something. There's no proof of that happening, and if in fact there's proof of it happening, then so be it. We will go to the tribunal.
Smith says they're willing to strike in the weeks leading up to the May 7th general elections and 1 month after that, if that's what it takes to get results. Folks has said the main issues Customs and Immigration officers have been pushing were never mentioned in their February meeting with Prime Minister Hubert Ingram or in the trade dispute they filed last year. However, Smith says they were listed under job and wage description, shift premium, and health and safety. He accused the government of addressing the minor issues and ignoring the major ones.
The issues that they say are new are not new, and the documents I will show you speaks to those same issues. They are trying to dull it down and pass it off as it's only overtime. Move beyond overtime. The issue is the law does not allow you to pay the workers less than they were making. That's all that is. And the compensation study mentioned in the area that deals with shift premium. All he has to do is look down there at it and he sees it. But the problem is, it is clear they have not read the industrial agreement that they signed, that the government signed with the Public Service Union. Because in that it talks explicitly about the shift system.
During his guest appearance on Darrell Miller Live on Guardian Radio 96.9 today, the labor minister called today's strike action illegal, adding that such action comes with consequences, including pay cuts, a fine not exceeding $200, and/or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months. However, he says it's up to officials at the Customs and Immigration Department to discipline those workers. Folks maintains that union leaders never brought up issues like a shift system, proper compensation, and health insurance at first, but their stance took a 360-degree turn after their meeting with the Prime Minister. Despite what has transpired, he expressed hope that this matter would be resolved before the upcoming general election. He described Customs and Immigration officers as hardworking public servants who have done wonders for this country. In other labor news, city market workers are agitating for their severance and pension payments after the majority of the supermarket stores have ceased operations. More than a dozen employees waited outside the John F. Kennedy Drive offices of Mark Finlayson this afternoon, hours after a meeting was scheduled between the Bahamas Commercial Stores, Supermarkets and Warehouse Workers Union and Bahamas Supermarkets Limited at the Department of Labor. Today, workers were concerned that they have still not been paid and that they have heard nothing of the outcome of that meeting.
So up to this day, I don't know anything about my job, other than went on an interview at Super Value, and the lady said that only a few will be chosen. So that's no guarantee that I even have a job.
We don't know where we stand. You know, you just hear in bits and pieces inside the newspaper, but no one giving you the respect to say anything. My God, if you say the 16th we would hear something, come and say something to the staff. Let us know what's going on. You understand? We have no redundancy letters. We have nothing to take anywhere. To get no help from anywhere. One of the stores is open in South Beach. That store is only open for them to finish selling the rest of the grocery.
Workers Wandalee Minnis and Albertha Ramming say they believe that negotiations and agreements regarding workers' pay and pensions are being stalled until after the general election.
All we want Mr. Finlayson to do is call a meeting with all the staff and let us know exactly what's going on and when we would get our money. That's the main thing. That's all we want. We don't want no problems. No problems. We don't want to down him. We only need our severance pay and our pension money.
I just want my money from Bahamas Supermarkets, which is no more. Give me my money. And my light have to be paid, my phone bill have to be paid, and my water bill have to be paid, my insurance need to be paid. You understand? You have people out here without small children. We've been to the bank, that's now they send money in the bank. Some people only have $11 and $12 on their bank account. My God, come on, man, do something. It seems to me, in my opinion, that they trying to prolong this thing for the election. That's my view.
BSL President Mark Finlayson, who was not at his office at the time of that protest, spoke to our news team, explaining that it is not his job to keep employees informed. He added that workers have been paid up to date for the work they have done, but management is still working to ensure that workers get severance pay. However, he says BSL is trying to keep them employed. As for the status of a deal with Super Value to buy all of BSL's assets, Finlayson says there are no updates as it is now in the hands of the lawyers. He encouraged workers to be patient as management does its best to help them. In other news, homes along East Street South were blanketed in thick white smoke today as firefighters worked to contain a bushfire that started on Sunday morning. As Christina McNeil tells us in this next report, firefighters find themselves challenged at the beginning of what promises to be a very hot summer.
Resources stretched thin at the fire department this afternoon as firefighters battle 3 blazes on New Providence. Here at East Street South, residents are particularly concerned about a bushfire that spread rapidly over the past several hours.
When our news team arrived on the scene, there were no firefighters in sight. Residents tell our news team the fire department did a good job of containing the fire overnight. However, it seemed to spread over the past few hours. The fire initially sparked near the rear of C.V. Bethel Senior High. Today, flames could be seen more than 200 yards away from the school. Now, residents and concerned citizens say they're worried about the thick smoke that threatens their homes.
Came by earlier and we spoke because I know there was a disabled person in one of the homes, and I was really keen to see how he was. He lives actually right down the street, and I really wanted to see how he was faring, because just being inside, some people might not even be able to get outside. Right. And certainly being stuck in the house and with this type of thing, I'm sure it can be devastating. And I don't want it to get to that. I think they should pay strict attention to it, right?
Comes inside your homes, the windows like gotta stay closed. The electric bill is already high, and you can't like turn on the AC, so it's kind of hot.
Everything is flying. My hair is done. I have to get this do over because all the ashes is in it.
In a few months, couple of years, we had the same thing over and over and over again. And most of the cars that yesterday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, that passed this way, they had to turn around, go back because of the smoke. Couldn't have seen anything. The area was just white with just smoke.
Last night, traffic along East Street South was slow-moving as firefighters watered down the blaze that had flames licking close to the busy thoroughfare. And while significant progress was made overnight, Corporal D'Angelo Butler says the bushfire at East Street South is just one of 3 blazes the department was battling today. The fire at the city dump continues to require the assistance of firefighters, along with a relatively new fire near Mario's Bowling and Entertainment Center. Meanwhile, he says the department is always challenged by manpower needs.
It's been challenging now because right now we're dealing with the dump fire as well as another fire in the rear of that would be the bowling alley. So right now we're restricted to just 1 truck here and another 2 trucks at the dump. So we have a lot of challenges right now with our vehicles. But right now we're doing our best to contain the fire as much as we could. It's burning inland, as you can see right in the rear of us. So as it gets to the road, we extinguish it. So that's the best we can do for now.
There are 7 fire trucks on New Providence. Butler explained that the remaining trucks are on standby in the event of an emergency.
Ash continues to rain down along East Street South as thick white smoke makes it difficult for motorists to see at times. However, firefighters say bushfires like this one are typical around this time of year.
This is the peak of the bushfire season, so we're going to have this a lot in all areas. You know, a few weeks back we had the area in Carmichael. You know, that's extinguished for the time being, so we don't know if that may start back up, you know, in the not so distant future. But this is the challenges we face every summertime, and we try to do our best with the resources that we have.
Fire officials encourage all residents in the vicinity of fires to keep their windows closed to keep smoke out of their homes. Meanwhile, motorists traveling in those areas are advised to take extra precautions when driving. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.